Hi guys, and welcome back to another What's Joined My Collection video. So this one is for the month of August. So guys, we've got lots of premiums, TV shows, special label editions. So what we'll do, as I've been doing these past few videos, is start with the premium editions, because let's face it, they are the nicest editions that do join the collection each month. So we will start with this absolutely gorgeous edition of From Dusk Till Dawn. So this one was from Kimchi DVD, and it's the one-click edition of the first movie, just From Dusk Till Dawn. 3 variations of the same movie inside the one-click box set, and these guys make some of the nicest full slip editions. I am usually a big fan of lenticulars, but when it comes to full slips, these guys at Kimchi, same guys that did the Pan's Labyrinth editions, which did win awards for the nicest premium full slip editions. As you can see here, I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. Not just Salma Hayek on the front, but the actual artwork and the detailing as well that goes into making these slips. You can see why the companies are known as premium, just for the time and effort that goes in and the detail that goes into making just these cardboard sleeves. They're just works of art. Absolutely beautiful. So this edition here was the full slip, which came with a world exclusive art steelbook inside as well. So it's the only place you could actually get this steelbook from. And if I just take it out of the lenticular edition here, which has a cover of both the Gecko brothers on the front there, Quentin Tarantino and George Clooney. And then I'll take out the steelbook because I did watch this when it arrived, so I opened up this steelbook here. So this was the custom steelbook that Kimchi made for this release that you can only buy from those guys, which is very cool, very cool. Again, very sort of snake skinish, if you can see the light catches out there, which matches the sort of vampires from the movie. And the Tootie Twister on the back there, logo. And then last but not least, another full slip edition, which is just absolutely gorgeous. When the light catches the detailing, it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, very, very happy to go for the one click for this edition, because there's no way I could have picked between just one of these slips. They're just all beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, and the detailing is incredible. I can see why this company gets often voted for producing some of the nicest examples. And I absolutely love the movie too. I'm very lucky. When I was younger, my parents rented it over a weekend, and I remember watching it on a Sunday morning, going into it not knowing anything about it at all. So thinking it was a heist, kidnapping type movie, and then after about 45 minutes it shifts to a full-on sort of horror vampire movie. I had no idea that was coming, so I'm probably one of a select few who had no idea what they were in for at the time when they watched this movie. So I'll always remember that shift in tone and shift in genre, and because of that I've always loved it. I've just always admired the movie. So yeah, very, very happy to have those editions join the collection. And I have actually made a position for those 3 slips along my premium steelbook wall, which is just over on the right hand side as you walk into the room. But for now I will place them back in the one-click box. And next up are 2 editions that I got from an Italian company called Cine Museum. So first of all, Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece Full Metal Jacket, and the new Part 1 version of it. So these 2 editions have been a long time coming. I'm pretty sure these were ordered and maybe paid for almost a year ago, definitely over 10 months ago. So when they finally arrived, it was nice to see them join the collection. And the lenticulars on them are absolutely beautiful. And the back artwork on this is just as stunning as the front. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's almost like a painting of Pennywise and the boys, which is fantastic. Yeah, so basically waited a long time for these to arrive, and it's not the first time I've ordered from Cine Museum. Also ordered The Thing as well, John Carpenter's The Thing, which was my first release of theirs. Same thing, had to wait quite a while, had to chase up the order before it arrived. So I haven't had too good of an experience with Cine Museum in Italy, but credit where credit's due. I think their editions are really well designed and well presented. So yeah, these are just the Worldwide Art Steelbook as well that you could pretty much pick up from anywhere. They've just jazzed it up in their own sort of releases that come with postcards as well, which I haven't yet opened. Also art booklets as well. And then for Full Metal Jacket, this steelbook you could pretty much pick up from Amazon and other places as well. So they've jazzed it up with their own artistic rendition of the covers, and they're also numbered as well. I do have a friend here in Australia who's trying to collect them all just because they're individually numbered. He would like to have a full set, which is pretty cool, but I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up any more of these unless I really do love the artwork or love the movie. So yeah, those two arrived from Cine Museum in Italy. Now, next up, guys, is, I've said this many times before, Film Arena in the Czech Republic, my favourite of all the premium companies. Absolute monster delivery this month. 4 individual XL slips, as they call them. They're a little bit wider than the standard premium slips that you can get. You see there's just a little bit wider, so they call them XL slips, for 4 movies that I really did enjoy. And the first one was A Star Is Born. As you can see here, it's got a lenticular front cover, which is very cool. Guys, I'm just going to turn that light off. Hopefully you can still get an idea of what it looks like, just because it was shining on the lenticular. And then back artwork again, Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. And inside, similar to a lot of other premium releases as well, you always get art cards and a booklet as well. But the way Film Arena present these is just so nice. For example, the booklet that has the collector's cards has character cards on one side, special photos from the movie on the other side. I won't get them all out now, guys, because it would take literally hours to present them all and show off what they do. But the quality is always beautiful, like photographs. And the actual art booklet as well, which has behind the scenes information, all written in English, which is always a plus for me. And yeah, production material, behind the scenes photos, Bradley Cooper, they're doing the directing, which is awesome. And typically with Film Arena, when they do these releases which has worldwide artwork, it's the Steelbook that was released in a lot of countries, a lot of stores, they jazz them up with their lenticular magnets as well. So this is absolutely awesome, switching between the 2 main characters. And I've shown this before, guys, I've said this many times with Film Arena, it is just a magnet which you can peel off to present the actual artwork for this Steelbook. So very, very cool, and I really did like this movie. I thought it was a beautiful movie. Very sad, but also very, very beautiful. So that is an awesome addition to join the collection. Very happy Film Arena gave it such amazing treatment. And next up from those guys, another musical, this one biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody for Queen, and the colours in this are just striking, absolutely beautiful, pinks and purples. You don't often see that sort of colour combination, but for this movie it just works beautifully, and with Queen written there in Freddie's glasses, absolutely stunning. And again on the back there we've got one of the hero stances while he's on stage, I assume at Live Aid. And then inside again, I won't lift them out, but we've got art cards, character cards, behind the scenes booklet, and yet again worldwide art steelbooks. So Film Arena didn't make their own for this release, which I'm happy about because I didn't own this steelbook anyway. But they've also jazzed it up with another lenticular magnet, which is awesome. Very cool artwork for that one. And then peeling the magnet off, there's the Worldwide Art Steelbook. Completely flat, even though it is kind of a bit misleading. It looks like it would have worked perfectly being embossed. But it is a very nice steelbook. It did get released here in Australia, but I knew this release was coming, so I didn't pick up the steelbook. I waited until this arrived. So very, very happy with this one too. Very cool. And I'll pop that back in. And next up from Film Arena, again Czech Republic, all of these arrived together in the one order, so it was a very nice box to arrive when it turned up on the doorstep. Aleta, excuse me, Robert Rodriguez and James Cameron, Aleta. So this is an absolutely gorgeous edition. Hopefully the light can just pick up the detailing that's in Aleta's arm. There you can see kind of the muscle. The lines are just incredible. The detail when you look up close is just beautiful. And then we've got one of the common artworks that was featured in a lot of places, which is very, very nice. Again, it's one of the XL slips. Similar to the others, we've got art cards and character cards, behind the scenes booklet. We've got the Worldwide Art Steelbook again, jazzed up with another custom lenticular. So again, guys, these releases, Bohemian Star is Born, this one, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I'll show next, all have very, very similar sort of traits with how they're produced, but they just come across so amazing. And again, that Steelbook did get a release here in Australia, which I passed up. I didn't pick it up because I knew this edition was coming. So yeah, very, very cool. These magnets, I absolutely love them. I think they're such a nice little touch to, they might not produce their own Steelbooks for these releases, but it's nice that they go that little bit of an extra step just to make them a bit different. So that is cool. And then last but not least from Film Arena was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I think I said this on one of my last videos. I thought this movie was mind-blowing. The animation was just incredible. It was something like you'd never seen before. And this edition is absolutely jaw-dropping. And it's a double lenticular for this extra XL slip. Ooh. So I'll turn that around. And we've also got one of the artworks from one of the other Spider-Men, Spider-Women, which is very cool. And then inside, again, we've got one of the photo booklets, and this is awesome. I went through this one when it arrived. Or Leafscriber. Yeah, you've got the actors who played the voices for the characters. I'm sure Nicolas Cage was in here somewhere. Yeah, so very, very cool. And again, production material behind the scenes, writing, information. So a lot of time and effort goes into these books as well. So yeah, very, very cool. Character cards also, which is very cool. And don't want to bend it. Last but not least, the Steelbook for this one again came with the magnet for the Worldwide Art Steelbook. So that's the magnet lenticular that was positioned on this Steelbook. Now, one thing extra that did come with this Steelbook was released around the world as well, is on the front of it. If we remove the magnet, there is a slight indentation, as you can see here. I think the light can pick that up there, because this edition from Film Arena also came with boom, this very cool collector's resin magnet. So inside this separate box was this magnet. Now I'm pretty sure, oh, it is very heavy. I'm pretty sure this edition did also get a release other places around the world, especially with the magnet. Not sure if it was exactly the same as this, but I've seen pictures that wasn't from Film Arena, so I'm sure this did get released other places. One design flaw though is the magnet is very heavy, so it's quite rare that it does actually stay in position on the Steelbook, but when it does, it looks amazing, absolutely amazing. It's not the first time Spider-Man have released a Steelbook that has a sort of resin magnet to attach to it, but I think that is awesome. But it is quite heavy, so I have had it slip down just a couple of times, especially when I want to position this onto my Steelbook wall. I might have to try and find a way to have this magnet attached to it a little bit more stronger. So, but it is an awesome edition from Film Arena, and I'm very happy that that got a release from them. They've done such an awesome job on all 4 of these editions. So guys, I will just pack everything away quickly. Okay, so next up, guys, in the premium range, I also picked up from HD Zeta Aquaman. So from Marvel to DC. Aquaman, one of the HD Zeta's lenticular one-click boxes, which they're doing for the DC EU. They have just announced Man of Steel. I think when they first started designing these, they sort of skipped Man of Steel and started with Batman versus Superman. So I've just pre-ordered Man of Steel, and I am still on the lookout for Batman versus Superman. It's the only one out of the DC EU that I don't own, but it is a bit of a grail now. It's quite hard to find online. Anybody willing to give it up? If they are, then they go for absolutely silly money. So one day it will be mine. It will join the collection. But so far, very, very happy that they're continuing on the range with the DCEU. Shazam, I believe, is up next after Man of Steel. We haven't seen any artwork for it yet, but yeah, it'll get a release. So inside, typical one-click fashion, we have 3 editions. So I will just remove them. There's inner artwork there. Now, one thing you find with HD Zeta's DCEU one-clicks is all 3 of them have lenticular covers. And as I said, I'm a big fan of lenticulars. So it's nice to get a one-click from HD Zeta and have all 3 of them, either single lenticulars or double lenticulars. So there's the first one, which looks very deep, very cool. You can see all of the sharks and the fish and the dolphins, whales, turtles, everything else in the background looks very deep, so that's very cool, very 3D like. And this one is actually for the 3D edition of the movie. And on the back is another lenticular of Aquaman and Mera, which is again very awesome. Jellyfish in the background, lots of bubbles as well, give it that sort of feel of depth. So that's very, very nice addition there for the 3D version. We have also got the 4K version here, which has some very cool artwork. I really do like this. Might have seen this as a poster at one point when the movie was released. So yeah, very, very cool artwork for that one. And on the back, we again have got Mera and Aquaman. And when the light shines on Mera's costume, hopefully you can see that there, it looks like it's sold scales, which is very cool. Very cool. So yeah, quite divisive, the movie. I know a lot of people didn't like it, and some people did. They think it was a step in the right direction for the DCEU. I'm a little bit on the fence with it, to be honest. I think it was a little bit busy. Even though I do like James Wan, the director, I think the movie was quite stuffed with so many ideas and so many scenes. It almost felt like 2 or 3 movies in one. It could have just benefited from stepping back a little bit and just toning down. But it was entertaining more than anything else, and that's sometimes what I want from a movie that I'll sit down and watch maybe Saturday evening. So yeah, I didn't mind it too much. And these editions are very, very cool. So again, I haven't opened it up, guys, to show you, but I'll do that now. It is world exclusive art. So again, this is the only place you could get this Steelbook, even though this artwork was used on the Digibook that released around the world. What HD Zeta have done, have used that artwork for their custom Steelbook. So the only place you can get this edition on a Steelbook was with this release from HD Zeta. So it is a very nice Steelbook. No embossing, unfortunately, but it's custom. And if you are looking for all of the different artworks for the movie, then you'd have to get this from HD Zeta. You wouldn't be able to get that anywhere else. So yeah, that was it for all the premiums this month. So very happy with all of those that released and arrived. Right, guys, so I will move on to a German order that I placed from a D&T mail order, one of the websites that I order from quite regularly to get my German editions. After last month's video, I showed off Death Weekend, one of the video nasties, to finally get a Blu-ray release. A few friends on some of my Facebook groups contacted me and asked if I was going to place another order because they also wanted to pick up Death Weekend. So I ended up ordering 4 of those extra for friends here in Australia who've since received them and are very happy. And I thought, well, since I'm placing an order and we're going to be sharing shipping, then I would also place an order for some more media books for me. So Big Trouble in Little China, one of my favourite movies of all time. John Carpenter masterpiece. Oh, David Lopan there on the front. Yeah, absolutely love this movie. And this media book is very cool, very cool. It's soft kind of faux leather material. And on the back there, we've got the Watcher, and inside on Blu-ray and DVD. And typical German releases, the information is in German, Unfortunately, I think I've said this before. I'm after going to start teaching myself. But that is an awesome edition, and I absolutely love Big Trouble in Little China. I do have quite a few editions of it already, but yeah, had to get that one to join the collection. Also picked up another one of my childhood favourites, Monster Busters, or as it's more commonly known, Monster Squad. Absolutely loved this movie as a kid. It was kind of what I'd class maybe as a gateway movie to horror, very much like the Goonies meets the Universal Monsters. And I watched this again and again on video. I think I had it taped off TV, and I watched it over and over. The old immortal line, Wolfman's got nards. Absolutely brilliant. So when this arrived, I watched this that evening when it arrived, because I hadn't seen it since DVD days. And yeah, it was very nice picture quality on Blu-ray for the age of the movie, and I remember it just being just as fun as it was when I first saw it. So yeah, absolutely beautiful movie. If you've never seen it and you are a sort of a kid from the 80s, you should really pick this one up and give it a watch. Fred Dekker and Shane Black as well, two popular names in sort of the horror sort of genre. So yeah, very, very cool. Also picked up one I'd never seen before, an early Jeff Goldblum movie, Transylvania 6-5000. Wasn't a big fan of the movie. Maybe if I'd seen it when I was younger, I might have enjoyed it more. I thought a lot of the comedy sort of fell a bit flat. To me, it sort of felt a bit like an earlier Mel Brooks movie. It was nice to see Gina Davis and old Jeff on screen, similar to when they were in The Fly, which I really enjoy. But yeah, unfortunately, I think a lot of the humour hasn't aged well, at least, but it is a very, very cool media book also. Did come with a few different cover variations, a few different artworks, but I did like this one because the writing was all in English, so picked that one up also. And finally, Tera Vision, which I've never seen, and I still haven't seen it. It arrived a couple of weeks ago, so I'm just finding the time to put this on. I know little about this, other than I did watch the trailer just before placing the order to see if it's something I might like. Creature effects look very interesting, and it was only after I'd ordered I found out that it had Charles Band's name attached to it. It seems to be a lot of the movies I'm watching at the moment are either from Full Moon or are some way produced by Charles Band. So that's another one that I picked up that I am looking forward to watching. Okay, so those were from Germany. Now, one of my favourite new special labels, I think I mentioned this maybe last month or the month before, is Indicator, powerhouse company in the UK. I believe they're run by a husband and wife team, which is very cool, out of the UK. And yeah, basically, the reason I think these guys are fantastic is these limited edition boxes that they produce, all individually, or not individually numbered. Well, they actually are. Telling a lie. They are individually numbered, but on the sides, on the spines, they are numbered. So if you do have a full set, you can have them in order of release, which I think is very cool. I picked up William Castle Volume 2 because I did say this in one of my last videos. When I picked up Volume 1, it was one of the bestest experiences I've had in a long time with movies I've never seen before. So yeah, this volume 2, which has 13 Frightened Girls, Straitjacket, The Old Dark House, and Zots. I have never seen any of these, but if they're as fun as volume 1, and if I enjoy it as much as volume 1, then I know I'm onto another winner here. So yeah, very, very cool. Very happy to pick this one up. And only maybe a week and a half after I ordered this, Indicator announced that they were having their only sale of 2019. They're a company, a label that I guess doesn't want to cheapen their brand by constantly having sales. So they had one sale over a weekend, last weekend, of the only one they're going to be doing in 2019. So I did place another order with them, which should arrive hopefully for next month's video. So yeah, there's a lot more on the way, and I am going to try and go for a full set just because they are numbered. I think it would look absolutely stunning to have them all. My friend John here in Australia, he has a full set, and he's started up his own Facebook group, an appreciation for Indicator. He's a big fan of them, so I've learned a lot from him as well, from what's available and the quality. So China Syndrome is also one of the classic movies that I never had in the collection, so it was nice to sort of pick this one up as well. So I ordered that at the same time as the William Castle box set, so picked those up. And also another label from the UK is 88 Films. I placed a pretty cool order with them just catching up on some older releases that I wanted to add to the collection. Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh. Never owned a copy of this, and similar to the third one as well, Day of the Dead, I don't own Candyman 3, but I do have the Arrow edition of Candyman, so it was nice to sort of get this sequel, which comes with a cardboard sleeve made by 88. So picked up Candyman 2. Another 90s sort of post-grungy horror movie, The Rage, Carrie 2. Again, I've got Carrie as a limited edition Arrow, but I didn't own a copy of Carrie 2. I assume it's... I have seen it a long time ago, but I remember next to nothing about it. I doubt it's got much in the way of elements from the first one. It might even be a rehash of the story, to be honest, just told in more modern times, but I don't really remember it, but happy to have that join the collection just to have the sequel. Also picked up a Wes Craven movie I've never owned, Swamp Thing, again from 88 Films, cardboard sleeve, which is very, very cool. So yeah, very nice to have in the collection. Huge Wes Craven fan. It was such a shame when he did leave us. So yeah, very happy that they did this release and I can finally add it to the collection. So it's a DC character I know very little about, but the fact Wes Craven directed it, I think, is a very cool plus point. Also picked up this very, very awesome Hollow Man collector's edition of 1 and 2, which I watched the week that it arrived. I had a double bill of 1 and 2. Second time watching Hollow Man 2, but I couldn't remember it at all. I think I've got a really cheap DVD of it, but it's terrible, absolutely terrible. Christian Slater is in it briefly. When you do actually see him, he is the guy that has been experimented on. But the first one I think is brilliant. I've always enjoyed Hollow Man. I think it's one of Paul Verhoeven's best. And watching it again when this arrived on Blu-ray in this awesome digipack, I watched the director's cut of it, which was the first time I'd seen the director's cut. I think there's a scene where Kevin Bacon unfortunately goes into his neighbour's apartment and does something he shouldn't. And it's Rona Mitra, the actress who I really like. I think that goes on a bit longer in the director's cut. There was a sequence, a shot in that which I don't remember from seeing it when I had it on DVD. So it was nice to watch the director's cut. And like I say, I've always enjoyed Hollow Man. I like the way it shifts to almost like a full-blown horror movie, almost like Alien in a way, where they're sort of having to hunt him down in the corridors, and he's hiding up above the heat pipes, the steam pipes, and he's picking them off one by one. So yeah, big fan of Hollow Man. So that is an absolutely awesome release for movies that shouldn't really deserve that sort of treatment, honestly, if critics had anything to say about it. And the same with this, Anaconda quadrilogy. I honestly can't believe that they have made a almost premium like release for at least Anaconda 3 and 4, which has the old Hoff in it. Guilty pleasure number 1. It's got a lot of famous faces, especially John Voight. How they got John Voight to be in the first one, I have no idea. But yeah, same as Hollow Man. It's a digipack that folds out. It's got a booklet as well with information behind the scenes. So I haven't actually dipped into this one yet, even though I do have a box set of Anaconda on DVD, a 1 to 4 box set. So I do own the movies already, but this edition looked just fantastic for the type of movies that these are. Like I say, the first one, I think Ice Cube, Jennifer Lopez, I think Owen Wilson's even in it. So it's got some big names in it, and I do enjoy it. It's quite a fun creature feature. Haven't seen it in years though, so I don't know how well the special effects hold up. But the fact that the guys at 88 Films included all 4 or 3 of the sequels, all 4 movies on Blu-ray, and gave it such awesome packaging as well. Yeah, you don't often see that, so I was happy to at least add that one to the collection, and I'm looking forward to giving the first one another go. Right, so more special labels, guys. I picked up, don't look now, voted the best British movie, I believe, a few times during various different sort of polls. Studio Canal are just absolutely on fire when they release their 4K editions of these older movies. Thinking back on the John Carpenter movies like The Fog and Escape from New York as well. Their editions are just look incredible in 4K. They really do. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. Saw it years ago on DVD. I do have a collector's edition on DVD. But what these guys do with these limited editions in 4K, these thicker fold-out boxes, again digipacks, and again it comes with a soundtrack and art cards, posters, bonus materials. They really go all out on their limited editions. So yeah, hats off to Studio Canal for giving such an older movie such awesome treatment, especially in this day and age where physical media, I guess, is slowly dying towards digital, and the fact that these companies are still making these editions and producing such awesome collector's items is just brilliant. Also picked up Monkey Shines. So this is a Eureka release with its cardboard sleeve. Again, a George A. Romero movie I have never seen. So yeah, very happy to pick this up. I think it was one of his very few movies he actually made with a studio, with a Hollywood studio. So I do believe he was one of those sort of directors who always shined when he had full creative control. But I am looking forward to giving this one a go. First time ever on Blu-ray, I believe, in the UK. So it'll be nice to sort of sit through this and see an early movie from Romero. Again, a shame when he left us as well. Seems in the past few years we've had a lot of these horror greats unfortunately pass away on us. So that I'm very happy joined the collection. Still on with the special labels, guys. I picked up these two from Second Sight, again in the UK. So two Amicus editions, The House That Dripped Blood and Asylum. So Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. Two older horror movies, again, I've never seen before, but Second Sight, they just give such awesome treatment to their releases. Similar to these other special label companies, they release them with a behind-the-scenes booklet, which is always interesting to give a read. And very, very nice artwork as well. That they're both very similar from the same artist. I've also got In Bruges and Flight of the Navigator on the way. So I also, Second Sight, they did The Changeling and When a Stranger Calls as well. So they're not just all horror based with obviously with In Bruges and Flight of the Navigator. And they've just announced an edition for Upgrade as well, Lee Whannell's Upgrade, in this sort of treatment. So very, very happy that that movie is getting a release like this. So those arrived and I'm looking forward to giving those a go. And guys, last but not least on the special labels is one from Severin in the US label. So this one is for Buried Alive, or aka Beyond the Darkness. So Joe D'Amato, the director of one of the most popular video nasties that I can never pronounce, so I'm not even going to try because I'll just get laughed at. Yeah, this movie I'm looking forward to watching. I've got a friend here on Facebook and one of the horror groups, he says this is his favourite movie from Joe D'Amato. So yeah, very nice. And a custom sleeve from Severin. So I picked this up during their recent sale a couple of months ago, but it was out of stock, so I had to wait until they were able to ship it to me. So yeah, very cool there. Picked up Buried Alive. Now, guys, let's jump straight into Steelbooks. I've got quite a few Steelbooks this month, which I will place here. First one is Hellboy, the Neil Marshall new David Harbour Hellboy. And this edition came from Zavvi, one of the first times that they've actually released just the Worldwide Art Steelbook in a custom cardboard sleeve, which is very cool. Not quite premium quality, not thick enough to be considered a premium, and they're definitely not a premium company. But it's a nice edition. It didn't cost any more to have that limited edition sleeve. And I do love this artwork, straight out of the comic book, which is very cool. So yeah, it was very nice to get this sleeve. The detailing actually on the sleeve is awesome as well. The actual artwork is very, very cool. And I think I said this before when I picked this up on Local Blue. I actually enjoyed the movie a lot more than I thought I would, considering the hate it got from critics and the amount of money it made at the box office. So I watched it again when it arrived the other day. I watched it in 4K, great picture quality, and I had just as much fun watching it the second time. So yeah, can't really say anything bad about it. Well, I could say some bad things about it, but I enjoyed it. Batman Hush, again, Steelbook from Xavi. Yeah, every time there's a new DC Universe movie comes out, then there's always a Steelbook release for it as well, and this artwork is absolutely stunning. So I'm filming this video now on a Sunday morning. And I'm planning on watching this in the afternoon. I've got some free time to sit by, and I always like to watch sort of an animated movie on a Sunday afternoon. It sort of feels quite nice to just relax on the couch with something that's only on for maybe an hour and 10 or an hour and 15 minutes. So yeah, I will give that one a go. I'm always a big fan of these Batman animated movies, and that's apparently one of the classic stories. Picked up Iron Man as well in 4K, one of the newer released artworks that Xavi are doing. I think these may have come out in Best Buy as well in America. So Iron Man was the first one to arrive. I'm just waiting for 2 and 3 as well. They're on the way through the post. So I'll watch all 3 of those in 4K when I've got the other 2. Rocketman, Taron Egerton Rocketman. Yeah, Elton John biopic, and probably a bit harsh to compare it with Bohemian Rhapsody, even though they both sort of came out at the similar time. I did prefer Bohemian Rhapsody to this movie, but I enjoyed it. Me and my partner, we actually watched it last night, Saturday night, and we both enjoyed it, even though we don't know much about Elton John and his life and his music, although from what we've heard in like advertisements and movies, it's not something we'd listen to in our free time. But yeah, Taron did an absolutely amazing job portraying him, and I just thought the movie was great. More concentrated on Elton's earlier life and rise to fame rather than sort of his later years, sober years, especially with him being friends with sort of Princess Diana. They didn't touch on that at all. But yeah, I thought the movie was fantastic. The direction from Dexter Fletcher was great, and I actually enjoyed my time with that. We both enjoyed it. So yeah, very happy this Steelbook came out here in JB Hi-Fi. I think it's different artwork than what was released in the States. So both of them were very cool, and I do like this sort of the whiteness and the blue on this artwork. It's very cool. Also picked up Detective Pikachu, a Pokemon movie. Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, so nothing really much to say about this one, to be honest. I'm not a Pokemon fan. I knew of Pikachu and maybe Squirtle, and that was about it. So I think if I was a big fan of Pokemon, if I grew up watching it and played the games, then I would probably have appreciated this movie more. It is what it is. It wasted an hour and a half or so, but I wouldn't really want to return to it anytime soon. But like I say, maybe if I was a fan, I would enjoy it more. But it's a cool Steelbook, and it did look nice in 4K. Also picked up Weird Science. So this is one of the Arrow release, my only Arrow of the month. And yeah, they did also release with a limited edition cardboard sleeve, which looked very nice, but I chose to go for the Steelbook because I'm a big fan of Steelbooks when they do release, and the artwork is awesome. Kelly Lee Brock there, she's absolutely beautiful in the movie, and it's a great John Hughes movie. Just really fun, really peculiar. Especially Bill Paxton in it as the brother. He's fantastic. So yeah, I really like Weird Science. I've always enjoyed it. And I picked up The Doors too. So one of the Oliver Stone movies. Again, Studio Canal, not yet opened, but I can imagine this 4K picture is just as good as all their other releases. So looking forward to giving this one a go. One of Val Kilmer's early best. So yeah, they picked up The Doors as well, which is a cool Steelbook. Now, what else arrived? We have got Shadow in 4K from the States with a cardboard sleeve. You often find most releases in the States come with cardboard sleeves. So I picked this up. It hasn't got a release yet here in Australia, so I imported this one from Amazon. And I have watched it twice in 1 week. I thought it was absolutely beautiful, especially on the OLED TV with the contrast of the whites and the blacks. It was just like a moving painting. It was just beautiful. A little bit slow to get going. Honestly thought there might have been a little bit more martial arts in it, but that's not a bad thing. It's not a criticism. After about an hour, when they do actually storm the city, it is just breathtaking, and I absolutely loved it. I adored the movie, so I have watched that twice this month. And my partner and I went to Melbourne this month, a couple of weekends ago, to see this legend here, Hugh Jackman. So we went to watch his show that he's putting on, his worldwide arena show, and I picked up this very cool book from the show. which is full of awesome pictures from his time in movies and his time on stage. Can't really see it, guys, that well without moving the camera. I don't have enough arms. But yeah, it's absolutely brilliant booklet, and the show was breathtaking. The guy is such a nice guy, so talented. I wanted to pick a movie from Melbourne when we were doing a bit of DVD shopping in the free time, so the Frontrunner is his latest release. So I picked up Frontrunner. It's already gone in the buy two get one free. So I also picked it up with the original Papillon, my father's favourite movie. When he was alive, we watched this together, and he always called it Papillon, which when I found out it was actually pronounced Papillon, French for butterfly, I thought it was hilarious that he always called it Papillon. So I picked that up. It'll be nice to watch again in Blu-ray, and I've also got the remake with Charlie Hunnam. So yeah, I'm gonna have a double bill of that one evening. And I also picked up Happy Death Day to You. These were buy two get one free. I really enjoyed the first one, and we went to the cinema to watch this second one. I like the sort of genre shift from horror to sci-fi, so yeah, I was happy for that one to join the collection. So that was nice to pick up in Melbourne just to commemorate the trip when we went to see Hugh Jackman. It was just absolutely stunning. So also, guys, picked up a limited edition of Aleta, which is this edition here. Now this was an Amazon exclusive, and guys, I'm usually pretty cheery with everything that arrives. I'm usually pretty content with the quality of everything that arrives. I usually think that everything is worth the money that I pay for it. This, on the other hand, I think is one of the most overpriced collector's editions of recent years. I really don't think it was worth the money, even though it does look quite cool. Amazon did package it in just a bubble mailer, so it does have some damage all along the top. It is quite creased and dented in the corners, which is a shame for the price of it. Now, when this originally came out, it was $200 US. $200 US. And I've got a friend here who I talk to regularly through High Def Ninja, called Brian. He also is a huge collector of limited editions. He's got an amazing limited edition collection. He also held back from getting this, which was unusual for both of us, because we'll usually jump on anything that's collectors or limited. But it was just too expensive. $200 US. It was just too much. And he let me know maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks after it got released, Amazon had dropped it half price. It was down to $99 US. So half price in that sort of short period of time, we both jumped on it. We both ordered them. And I will be perfectly honest with you guys, even at $100, which in Australian dollars is still 180 Australian dollars, it's not worth it. I really don't think it's worth it for what you get in it. There are two pictures. I will open it up for you just so you can see what's in it. There has been a few unboxings that I've watched from other collectors, and again, they say the same thing, that it's not really worth the money. It comes with a 4K 3D Blu-ray, you know, the standard release that came out everywhere. So it came with the movie, which you'd probably spend about 30 to 40 bucks on that. It also came with, admittedly, a very cool hardback book, which has some very cool pictures in. I have flipped through this when it arrived. So it does come with a very cool book, which I won't go through every page. It also comes with two, and these were different for every release. Okay, so art cards as well, sort of postcards to be displayed on the shelf, which is very nice. And last but not least, it also came with a certificate of authenticity. And I'm pretty sure from what I read online, from all the forums I read, before this released, people were stating that the price of this edition, these should be hand signed from James Cameron, from John Landau, and from director Rodriguez. It's not, it's just a photocopy, although a very cool photocopy that shines in silver. Yeah, for the price of this edition, they should be hand signed, and this should have come with a photograph of those three waving at the camera, showing you they're signing it, because really it's just a photocopy. So even at $100, guys, I think it's overpriced, and it's not often I say that. I'm a huge big fan of collector's editions. I spend a lot of money on collector's editions, and it's quite rare that one will arrive where I'll just think to myself that wasn't worth the money. But unfortunately, as nice as it kind of looks, I don't think this was worth the money. I really do feel sorry for the guys that spent twice the price on this one, spent $200 on it. So anyway, that joined the collection. So I will just pop it out of the way just to make room, because up next is a whole bunch of TV shows that I picked up. So it is Father's Day today here in Australia, and to commemorate, JB Hi-Fi have put on a buy one get one free sale on TV shows. And it's not just on a select few, which is usually the case whenever they put a sale on. It's usually a select choice of TV show. It's on everything. It's on absolutely every TV show. So yeah, I will go through, guys, quickly what I picked up. Now, everything I've picked up is what I am up to date with, so I'll explain. Picked up season 20 of South Park because I have 1 to 19 and I've watched them all, so I'm up to season 20. So I picked that up again in its cardboard digipack. You've got to be quick if you don't buy them soon after they come out. Then they just changed to just standard plastic cases, so just to keep the collection going, I was happy to get this one in its cardboard sleeve. It hasn't been out too long here. Also picked up Mayans. This is a JB Hi-Fi exclusive cardboard sleeve for the Sons of Anarchy spin-off. Little disappointed it didn't get a Blu-ray release here. It did only come out on DVD, but I'm looking forward to it. As a big fan of Sons of Anarchy, so it's nice to have the spin-off, and that's season 1 of that. Also picked up Luther season 5. Absolutely love Luther. Idris Elba, absolute legend. So managed to find season 5 very cheap. It was only $12.98, and because it was buy one get one free, basically puts it 50% off, so it was like $6.50. So absolute bargain there for Luther. And picked up a HBO movie with a couple of famous faces in it, or Michael Shannon especially, and Michael B. Jordan, Fahrenheit 451. Don't know much about this at all, but that was the other one that I got for $6.50 along with Luther, so that was cool. Ray Donovan, I've seen 1 to 4, so I am up to season 5, even though season 6 is out to buy. I'm a couple of seasons behind, so I picked up season 5 of Ray. Happy season 1. I watched the first episode on Netflix when this dropped, and I loved it. I knew I wanted to own it, so I actually stopped watching it on Netflix and waited for it to come out. So picked up Happy. Big fan of Jim Carrey. Never seen this one, but I think it is one I'm looking forward to watching. So it's nice to see Jim back on screen, and especially doing comedy as well. So picked up Kidding season 1. And TV shows that my partner has watched but I haven't, and she says they're absolutely amazing and I would love them. So I picked up Killing Eve season 1 and 2. So looking forward to watching those. Those were the DVD editions of the TV shows I picked up, and on to the Blu-rays. Gotham final season. Absolutely adore this show. So we started this last night, watched 3 episodes last night after Rocketman. So yeah, absolutely love Gotham. I think it's absolutely stunning. I think the villains in it are great. The characters they've got to play them are fantastic. So yeah, hopefully that's going to go out on a high note. It's a shorter season than the rest, but I'm looking forward to sort of smashing it and finishing it off. So I picked up Gotham. American Horror Story Apocalypse. Again, I've followed this season, or this anthology season, since the very beginning. I wasn't a big fan of the last season, Cult, but there's been a few before that I thought were fantastic. I really did like Roanoke and Freak Show, so I picked up this, and again, it's a exclusive JB Hi-Fi cardboard sleeve for Apocalypse. The next one, the next season, 1984, which is riffing on the sort of camp slashers, looks incredible, so I'm looking forward to that too. Killjoys season 4. We've only recently just finished season 3, so we picked up season 4. Preacher season 3. Again, I've watched and I've got 1 and 2, so it was nice to pick up season 3, and again, buy one get one free, so I saved a lot of money on buying all of these. The Last Ship, 5th season. Absolutely love this show also. When it first started, I thought if it was going to be like another zombie apocalypse type show, but I'm glad it went in a different direction. So really, really loved The Last Ship. And one that is actually a zombie apocalypse show, Fear the Walking Dead. I'm up to season 4. I've watched 1 to 3. So yeah, that one joins the collection also. Big fan of Kim Dickens. I think she's great in that show. Orange is the New Black. I'm up to season 6, so I picked that up also. I was a big fan of Weeds before Orange is the New Black came out, so I think it's Genji Cohen, I think, maybe pronouncing that right, the writer. Yeah, I absolutely love what she does, so that is very cool. House of Cards, the final season with no Kevin Spacey. I didn't watch this when it dropped on Netflix, but I am up to the final season, so I'll see how they sort of end it without him. And then I also picked up Jack Ryan season 1. which is apparently getting good reviews. One of my friends at work watched it and he enjoyed it when he watched it on Amazon Prime, so I picked that one up also. American Gods Season 2, I watched Season 1 last year, so it was nice to continue that on. Better Call Saul Season 4. So, big fan of Breaking Bad, and now the El Camino trailers just dropped for the movie, the Netflix movie. I need to get back into Better Call Saul. It's been a while since I've watched Season 2 and 3, so I picked up Season 4. And then, last but not least, I also picked up 2 Doctor Who's that I was missing. The final season for Peter Capaldi and the first season with Jodie Whittaker, and this was in a Steelbook as well, so I picked those up from JB Hi-Fi. Also, just yesterday on the weekend sale, so lots of TV shows. All right, guys, so that is almost it. One amazing bust this month from Germany, and I will just make some space for it, and that was Stephen King's Sleepwalkers, this German nameless media bust. Absolutely beautiful detail there. Absolutely cool. I think it's the first bust that they've released with the actual German title spelling of the movie, which I don't mind at all. The quality is just absolutely beautiful, and I'm a big fan of these bust editions. I say this all the time, when you can actually put the DVD or Blu-ray actually in the actual base, and this came with the media book of Sleepwalkers. So it's not my favourite Stephen King adaptation. I think I do prefer Pet Sematary, but just for the sheer amount of horror legend cameos that appear in this, Stephen King, he puts himself in it, a small role. We've also got Mark Hamill actually in the beginning of the movie as well, but we also get Clive Barker. Who else do we get? Joe Dante, I believe, is also crops up for that same scene. Yeah, just absolutely fantastic to sort of point out all of those cameo. And yeah, not a bad movie. Not my favourite, but not bad. And this bust is absolutely brilliant. The detail in his teeth and just the eye after he's been stabbed. Yeah, absolutely cool bust. So I have found a position for that on top of one of my glass cabinets. It does weigh about 8 kilos, so I can't put it in one of my glass cabinets just because they take about 6 kilo in total. So yeah, very nice edition, and the big box that it came in as well was very cool. It's always nice when the boxes have artwork on them as well. So it arrived in that box there, guys. So that is everything from the 1st of August to today, which is the last day in August. So guys, I hope you have again enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please do feel free to leave me a message, and all going well, I will see you next month for what's arrived in September. Guys, thanks for watching again. I really do appreciate it. Cheers. Bye.